make use of all of the great Ford electrical technology, regenerative braking, sending energy to the battery pack for later use so you get the most efficient engine. Includes unique sync with My Ford Touch EV features to help you maximize your range. Lots of driver information systems. If you're into tech in the cabin, you want to go take a look at this. Unique execution of sync with My Ford Touch lets you optimize your electrified driving, find out your range, find out your fuel level, your battery power level, your average instant miles per gallon equivalency, all of that on your smartphone app as well. So you got to go take a look at this. The 2012 Ford Focus Electric is an all-electric vehicle without a gasoline engine. It's all electric. Fully charges in 3 to 4 hours, 100% electric, zero CO2 emissions, and has a lithium-ion battery in there with new technology that lets you top it off without reducing the lifespan of the battery. So if you're at 70% charge, you're not worried about, well, should I discharge it all the way? Don't even think about that. You just top it off now. The 2012 Ford Focus Electric is available for reservations right now, and the 2013 Ford C-Max Energy plug-in hybrid is coming fall 2013. Specifications are always subject to change with production vehicles, but you can keep up on the latest at Ford's website and learn more about the electric technologies Ford is bringing to vehicles at Ford.com/technology. Now, Facebook is taking on Instagram.
Sort of. That's true. Facebook introduced a new free iOS app today called Facebook Camera. Guess what it does? Now, obviously, immediately people are going to compare this to Instagram that Facebook announced they were purchasing back in April. Facebook bought that for $1 billion. But don't forget that deal hasn't closed, and the FTC is probing that transaction. Now, Dirk Stoop, the Facebook Photos product manager, talked to All Things D and says Instagram and that team had nothing to do with the Facebook camera app. And when the Instagram acquisition was announced, Mark Zuckerberg made it very clear that Instagram is going to remain independent. So that's why this app exists.
So this makes perfect sense to me, right?
It does?
Yeah.
What?
In other words, Facebook says, well, it makes perfect sense when you start at, we're going to buy Instagram, but they will stay separate. They will stay independent. They will stay
Because we've
Instagram.
already been working on this Facebook camera app internally.
So we got this Facebook camera app. We're going to go ahead and put it out. And then when the Instagram folks join us, once that's approved, we'll take them and have them help us improve the Facebook camera app, but they'll still make Instagram.
But why does Facebook benefit from having their own internal app that is an Instagram competitor and then keeping Instagram independent?
Well,
they'll just start running ads?
The question is why keep Instagram independent?
Yeah.
But I get why they're going ahead and releasing a camera app, because they're like, well, it's just going to get better.
Well, especially since it's like this Instagram thing doesn't seem like it's a done deal. It's pushed off to sometime this year. They want a camera app now.
Yeah.
It's convenient that they've already got something in-house.
But the question is, why keep Instagram independent? And maybe that's a goodwill gesture. Or maybe that's one of the ways they got Instagram to sell, is like, we'll let you keep making a separate app. That's very narrow. Remember, Instagram doesn't do a whole lot. It doesn't have a website.
Right. And think of all the people who heard the news that Facebook bought Instagram users who went, oh, great, the party's almost over. They're going to ruin it. So if Facebook's smart, they don't actually ruin it. If they can figure out a way to monetize it without even incorporating it into Facebook, I think it'll keep a lot of people happy.
I have location services turned off in this app.
Yeah.
And it just
makes you
said,
a lot harder to stop.
we can't access your camera roll unless you turn on location services.
Because it wants to, like if you share a picture on the app, it wants to tell your Facebook friends where you were when you took it. Because all that information is attached to those photos.
But it's my camera roll. I should still be able to access it.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, turn off data, like geo. Is it because you're locked out of accessing
It's
the
because
camera
I've
roll?
turned off. I'm like, no, this app cannot access my location. I don't want it to know where I am.
But you let your onboard camera access your location. I'm saying it might be a security issue inside of iOS. Where
Camera needs location services enabled in order to access your camera roll.
And as soon as you take a picture...
That's stupid. No other app has this restriction.
I think it's Facebook wanting to have information about where you are.
I'm just trying to figure out why they would keep both at this point. The location services thing aside, I'm thinking, is it possible that Facebook could do something like what car manufacturers do, soda companies do? We just have two brands. Now, you're on Instagram, and this is a very close thing. We're cool with that.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Regular and extra strength.
And we have Facebook because why do we have the separate app? Because we can. And the thing is, it does have some of the similar functionalities. It has the filters. So if you're an Instagram user, you go, oh, I could use this too. It's got similar things. They're not going to win people like right away from their own competition right there.
And now the upload's failing.
But
This thing's a piece of crap.
But the other thing is they don't have iOS integration, right? Like Twitter's in there. You can go to the camera app right away and tweet that image out. You can't do that with Instagram. You can't do it with Facebook. But with this Facebook camera app, at least it's like one step closer to this. I quickly took a photo and I want to get to Facebook versus that horrible runaround you have to do now. If you take a photo on your iPhone, you have to go to the Facebook app, I think, to upload it. Or you can send it, I guess, via an email address. But it's not exactly an elegant solution.
Facebook has experimented with this before. They have bought companies where Facebook Messenger is just really a rebranded Beluga, which was a company that they bought and spun it out as a separate app. If you don't want to be in the whole Facebook experience, you just want to message Tom or Ayaz because you know they're probably going to be online and you can use Facebook chat. That's what that is. So that works for them. I think probably what was going on is they wanted to launch an Instagram competitor. They probably got far enough along because, of course, these apps don't get built overnight. Maybe Mark Zuckerberg said to himself, you know, this is kind of like Facebook Places killing Foursquare. It's not going to happen. I know it. I want to buy Instagram, but everyone has worked on this app that's not terrible. And now let's just put it out because Instagram isn't legally ours yet. That's my non-insidery
that makes some
idea.
sense. That makes some sense. I think they're willing to have two brands out there. I think that's true. Also in the mobile space, Google has now added in-app subscription billing to the Android App Store. Google Play Store, I guess we should call it these days. This is good for game developers, for magazine publishers. Anybody who wants to have a recurring subscription that will auto-renew monthly or annually, and developers set the price at your normal 30-70 split. Google takes 30%, the developer keeps 70%. But the nifty thing is that they don't have the same restriction Apple has that says, well, if you offer an in-app subscription, you can't offer any kind of other subscription anywhere else in the app. And also, Google is actually giving you an API that handles validation and cancellation of subscriptions that you can extend to your website. So quite the opposite. Instead of keeping you in the app like Apple tries to do, Google's saying, hey, you want to take the subscribers you got through your app in the Google Play Store and validate them on your website for other offerings. Have at it. We'll let you use our servers.
That might be because the newsstand in iOS is just such a piece of stuff.
Yes, it is. It stinky brown stuff.
Yes, it is the single most frustrating experience I've had on any Apple application in the last few years. I just remember
No. I've got something worse.
It's not a competition.
Messages. Messages is worse.
Yeah, that was pretty much gone before I got a chance to get going with it. But you're right. I agree.
We are straying from the point, which is in-app subscriptions for Google. Now they're pretty much up to par with the iOS App Store, and I would venture to say, if they've got this huge market share we were just talking about a couple of stories ago, and you're a magazine publisher that's like, you know what, I don't want to have to mess with like what the Financial Times did, where they made their entire app HTML5, or I have to strip out anything that takes you to my website. I'm just going to go Android with my publication.
And then they just have to worry about making sure their application runs on the 32 different versions of Android across the umpteen different carriers.
That's
and the fact
the
they don't
trade-off.
have a unitized operating system update. So they're going to have to staff up the developer department anyway.
It's like wait. Because of that, that's true. But Google's setting up. They're obviously setting up that whole thing where it's with November is the rumor that their Nexus line of tablets and phones and their store, the Play Store, will have all the stuff. It seems like Google's setting up everything that finally, when you get your tablet from us, you can have applications and magazines again without this bizarre is it going to work? Is the resolution going to be broken? Google's going to be able to say it will totally work because we have
It will totally work for everyone who buys one between November and Christmas. But all you people who bought before now, I'm really sorry, but you're going to have to deal with whatever you have.
Deal with it.
Sorry, I'm just like
that's at the bottom of the EULA right there.
No, but it's so funny because Google's so desperate. They're like, we are killing the phones. We have to kill with the tablets. And then you pick up a tablet, it's like the Sony tablet. It's like, oh, wow, this is like such an 80s design. That's so nice. And, it's just a weird fragmented market right now. It's messy.
It's retro. Well, it is very similar to Windows versus Mac, Android versus iOS. You've got the monolith that is consistent, and then you have the wide open Wild West. That's, the trade-off is
Except it's not wide open. If it was wide open, any